Looks like we're up and running now. All right, we are live. We're alive too, but we are live. Tell you what, freaking closed captioning I use kind of sucks. So we're going to go in and work in Talespire a little bit more today. We'll see how this goes. I'm curious if there's any lag because we're running through Steam, but we'll find out. So they did add some new assets in here. I am not sure if we're going to run with the new assets or, see what they look like, or maybe mess with the assets and see what we can build out of them. I don't know. I haven't thought that far ahead. We did put a new background up so that when we do activate the dog cam, it's in the air and there's no tripod down there now. So let's take a look. I think we were working on Lost Mines of Phandelver last time, right? This is the one that we completed, the first encounter in that. And let's go ahead to our live stream. I think we jerked with the camera a little bit too much. Let me see if this is going to do anything. See, we have a lot more room to play around with this. So let's go ahead and... So I'm not real pleased with the... I think it's the background color that's messing things up. But we're going to go like this. We're good. And then we started on the actual mine. The Cragmaw hideout. Let's go to that. And we did make a change to the bridge, so there's room for characters to walk under, because sometimes they've got those swords sticking up in the air and real goofy stuff like that. So we wanted to make sure that, players would be able to walk underneath of that. There we go. I always forget to go ahead and put pop-out chat down here so I can see all my chats rather than looking up at my light. So I think the one way to fix that is this. There, that takes care of the background. It's bright as fuck, but that's fine. So all right, let's make sure that this is working right. Oh, you know what? It was working right. that's fine. We messed with that a little bit. So right now, you know, we're not super pleased with the floor here. We're going to do something about this treed section on the map. I need to bring up a reference map so we can take a look at that. In fact, I think I haven't created a folder for this, so let's do this. All right, so bear with me one moment. So this is Cragmaw Hideout that we're working on. And I'm going to admit, I kind of have a feeling that we're going to end up redoing this map. Because I'm not super excited about it right now. I mean, I think we needed to spread it out a little bit more to give us room to build the walls. But let's go ahead and keep messing with it, see if we're able to finish it after the time we put in. And you know what? We're always fine with starting over if we have to. All right, so here's our map that we're trying to recreate. And because I just moved that, everything decided to go wonky on me. There we go. I do love when everything goes wonky on you. So we have this done. Let's go ahead and flood this a little bit. Yeah, there's that where we have this zone in here that'll be flooded. This is a stream going through. I mean, I feel like there's stuff we could do to clean that up. It'd be really nice if they had some corner pieces that would work in there, but that's not a thing. This is going to be a wall section. This will all be walled in around here. So I think we're going to place walls. We're going to, you know what, let's go ahead and let's start placing something that's not the same floor tiles down. And then we'll be able to put walls on top of it, however we decide to do it. You know, like I've said, I'm not a real fan of these castle or cavern walls. I don't like that stuff on top. I mean, they work, but, you know, they could be a little bit better. Hey, Deadly Force, how's it going? Tal, how's it going? Glad to see you found us over here. We are going to be... You're trying to find a geologist? We're going to have to come in and do a lot of work because this is way too repetitive, what we have here. So we're going to end up pulling out random pieces. You know, maybe spinning some of these things. But we've got to do something to break this floor pattern up. And then we need something here to throw walls on. Your plot to make sense. Ah, the hell with making sense. Making sense is overrated. Just go with the crazy. So I think what we're going to do, I think we're going to put this down, you know, to cover up this stuff. And that's what we're going to place our walls on. And we haven't fucked with this in about a week. I got to remember my controls. My brain still wants to do all of the controls from Dungeon Draft. And we're going to need to jump in and start doing some more Dungeon Draft maps too. Oh my god. So I think we're going to have to redo our Mwyral's Gauntlet map. And I'm not happy about it, but I'm thinking you can probably guess why we're going to have to redo it. We're going to have to do it because our stupid Mac users, and they're not stupid, but I do fucking hate Macs just because of built-in HD graphics and the shit that they do. You know, because of the one guy, he was complaining because he couldn't see it, and he's like, this is a brand new Mac. I'm like, what is it? It's a MacBook Air. I'm like, yeah, you basically got like the equivalent of a $300 PC. You know, it just doesn't have built-in graphics. It's not made for that. I mean, it's like when, you know, people who go and think they're going to buy a Mac to do a bunch of like video, and the MacBook Air is not made to be able to do that shit. So, you know, it's kind of like you're better off getting a fucking Chromebook for like $200 than buying a fucking MacBook Air. Especially if you're one of these people that, you know, you're basically using it as a web appliance anyway. And let's face it, I make no bones about it that I'm just not a fan of Macs because of all the problems that I've had with players and virtual tabletops. It's like if I decide to run an online game using this, I am going to have to clearly specify that Mac users will not be able to play. Because number one, I'm not going to walk through getting them set up so it runs. Not my job. If they don't know how to put in Wine or whatever Windows emulator they're going to need to make this run, just not my job. And even if you can put it in, there's so much troubleshooting that you have to do that a lot of times it's just not going to work. It's just not. Let's be honest. So I'm trying to see. Yeah, it looks like, so we put a new background up because I wanted to be able to elevate it off the floor and have room for the dogs underneath. So basically, I put a table mount, camera mount up that is able to go up like 48 inches. Put it on my shelf over there. And then I had a boom arm, and I extended that out. I have a lot of photography shit because, that's what I used to do. And I put the boom arm out and then hung a cloth green screen over the top, and it's kind of working. I think it's right up here, and I think it's because, I don't know, maybe the way it's sitting, I might have to take and pull that corner over, put a couple of clamps on. That's the problem with just having a cloth green screen hanging, is you're going to get some weird shadows and stuff. So I'm going to have to do something to make that function a little bit better. But I wanted to get on and start seeing what we're going to do with this map. Like I said, I think the issue I'm going to run into can't do that with, I'd have to mount another camera over there. What I run is an AverMedia PW513, which is their 4K webcam. It works really nice. The picture quality is really good, but you still have to deal with the fact that it's a webcam. What I would like to do is use my Elgato thing that I have here that would let me put a DSLR up there, but the DSLR would be way too fucking big. As it is, this thing's big, and I have to do this once in a while. So, the best thing you can do, if I was able to set up out in the front, I actually have photographic backgrounds out there with studio lights and stuff like that. And where and I actually have them on an overhead track, and I could pull them out, spread them out, and then I had clips all the way down each side that would take it, stretch it out, take all the wrinkles out, everything would be perfect. And some of my old videos, I used to see, like, right, the box is still not perfect right there. You can see it over the water here. And yeah, you can see the square is still there. I need to do something with my lighting. Probably, I don't know. Possibly move these two lights in closer, but I don't want to have a tripod on the ground over here to get it in closer. Out there I've got a track on the ceiling. I can move lights around, put it where I want, and it's perfect. But then you have all the other house noise and stuff going on, and I try to avoid that. So yeah, it's not just that section, it's the entire square. The other the other green screen, and I think part of it also I tried to do where it's not just head and shoulders, it comes down a little farther, and that's going to affect it as well. So I mean, we can a lot of that can be fixed by me coming in here and I'll probably end up doing most of this offline, but you know, that's one of the beauty, you know, I have a lot more flexibility with changing on the fly with XSplit, and that probably just cleaned up a lot of it right there. See, with XSplit, I can make these changes on the fly the way it's built, and it's just drag and drop, do that kind of stuff. I think that definitely looks better. Now we're in the section where the lights are more centered. Yeah, I think overall that's better. Let me get back up to where I can see the chat now. But I feel like I need to put some kind of weight on the bottom there and then stretch all the way across. Um, and that'll help too. Because I always run an overhead ceiling fan and the screen kind of goes like that with the breeze. So it is what it is. Okay, so when they connect into a Foundry server, the only thing that they are connecting to are the active maps. So, you know, if whatever you set is active, that's what they're going to load into. Um, and it's really the active map that you should have preload so that it comes in a little bit quicker. But I try not to. I don't want them loading anything else because you don't know what everybody's freaking internet is. So you know you're always dealing with variables outside your control. So the best thing you can do is set it up so that they are only downloading. How high are these caverns? So they're only downloading exactly what you want them to download. See, I've never used map tools. I think I experimented with it, but you know, I've said before, I ended up running um, Foundry all the time because, or not Foundry, Dungeon Draft, because it links right in and works with Foundry. So you want to use what actually works with your stuff. See, I haven't had an issue with any of that because my players are all on these massive maps. We change maps once every couple of months. And I'm kind of fucked right now. So I've got this massive map that's 8,900 wide by 12,000 high. And that's clipped in as tight as I could make it. So I got the entire map. Wyroll's Gauntlet is ridiculous. So I have a feeling I'm going to have to go back in. I might just chop the JPEGs into two pieces and then set that up and bring it in as two different maps. And I'm going to see, I am not sure if multi-level uh, tokens or whatever that thing I use to be able to get those things will actually teleport from one map to another. So I'm going to have to research that. I mean, that's where, I mean, while this stuff's loading, I would use that time to describe or role play or do whatever. They don't have to be on a map 100% of the time, you know what I mean? So just use that time frame where you know you're going to have 1 or 2 minutes to go in and have them doing something that they don't need a visualization for. All right. So I need to see how tall is this cavern? Forge did improve it. Um, it improved performance. I I just wish they have an image optimizer that they used to have on all the time, right? And what that would do, like with this large map, it would break it down into a smaller map without messing with your 50 pixel stuff. It would just make it so that it didn't look as pretty as the map is, but they'd be able to play on it. I had turned it off inside my forge, and then when I needed it now, you don't have a choice. What I do because with those 10-foot squares is I set it at 100 pixels, but when I'm going in, I'll go into that map tool that I use to set up a grid, and I'll use that and mess with like 100, 200, whatever to to see that whatever bumps me up close to that 8,000. I'm not going to go to 8192 in any direction. I'll go to 8,000 at most. And once I get close to that, your maps were what, 128 squares or 128 pixels? The key is how many squares across are they? I mean, a small map is not going to be bothered if you go to like 200 pixels and you've got a small map, you can get away with it. Like a 30 by 30 map. 200 pixels will run fine. Then you're talking what, 6,000 each direction. So you're still well under. See the 64 times 128, that's probably bumping you up close to your limit, isn't it? That fucking limit. 8192. Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, I try not to dance with that if I can help it. I keep it 8,000 and under. Oh man. But yeah, those pixel limits, they will fuck you every time. It's one of those things. I'm never happy with it. All right. So, what are the Cavern Heights in here? Scale and grid. Oh, adventure maps. Jesus Christ. Most of the caverns, steeply sloped ceilings, create stalactite covered vaults rising 20 to 30 feet above the floor. So we need 20 to 30 feet for our walls. I mean, this is what we could do, and I'm not going to be super thrilled with this. We're going to make them all 30 off of this. This will end up being like 25, and then we can mess with the dimensions a little bit. And on this outside, we're going to need to start laying in the rocks and stones to build that up because it's a mountainside. So I guess let's take a look at this. And we don't want to overlap too much if we can help it. And part of the issue here is going to be this. You know, they can see down on the floor, and that's not a super big issue, but you know, it kind of is to me. And I wish we had a few more options here. So we can go, what, here? Will this work? There. There. See, that is just not pretty. That little gap sticking out there. This is why I'm contemplating using something other than these cavern walls. We could put marble walls in and make it look really nice, but we're not going to do that. That would be a funky cave, wouldn't it? They just added this marble palace. If it was like this, I would think about doing that. It's going to be loud. I've got the doors open. The wife had to go pick up my daughter because she's being neurotic. I'm kind of losing. I guess I'm being bad dad, let's be honest. I'm kind of losing a little bit of patience. Fuck. Hold on. The wife locked herself out. I'll be right back. You go out to the car and leave your keys. That works. Come on. You want to come in and work? If you're in here working, we can turn the camera on. I'm not giving you treats today. You came voluntarily. I didn't have to bribe you. I know. They're unhappy. I usually bribe them. Let me turn that on now. Channel points. I turned it off because they weren't in here. We can turn that on. There we go. So I really want to figure out what I want to do with these walls because, like I said, I don't like the cavern walls. They don't link up right. They leave gaps, and that bothers me. I mean, let's be honest. The players probably would never notice. Probably wouldn't notice, but I will. Now, I guess the other option, let's see, where did we pick these up? Was this Castle Ruins? The floor tiles that we put down? So I guess we could do this. And then with that there, we could... Oh, shit. I'll bring this up to where it's leveled off. Like right there. Go across there, down here. And we'll do one more layer. And we're using these because we'll know where we need to place the walls, and we can fill this zone in that'll be basically, you know, the solid stone of the cave. So that gets that done. Let's take this down. There we go. Come on, you can do it. And I'm not real worried about these being repetitive because nobody's ever going to see them. Yeah, I almost thought about going in today and working on rebuilding Myryl's Gauntlet so we would have that all within the pixel limit that I need for my Mac users. Oh my god, but then I've got to repopulate the level, replace the teleport zones because that does have multiple levels, you know. That was the first level I was really excited about using the multi-level tokens thing on. And, you know, I don't want to have to go in and redo all that stuff. So I don't know. The Mac players might have to suffer for a few months until we get to the next map, which is built in parameter to... in fact, I'm pretty sure I remember when I did Myryl's Gauntlet. I probably even said in stream when I started doing it because I was so annoyed at the size of the map that I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. They're just going to have to not see the map. It's just one of those things. I would never tell somebody they have to buy a computer with a better graphics card in order to play. But sometimes it's so much work to do those maps. Breaking it down into the multiple sections just annoys the hell out of me. I did it once before, and I just hated what we had to do to go between zones because they love to wander. And that's fine. If they want to wander, wander. Go for it. All right, so that'll give us these sections all set so we can place walls. Now, maybe using the cavern walls will work better this way. I'm not sure, but maybe it'll work. And then we'll worry about, I guess we're going to put so I'm curious. See, this is where some of this is going to be a little bit problematic. Because what we're going to need is like this mountain up in here. So I guess we can go like here. There. And there. And then this section we can go, and this will help kind of round it out a little bit. Kind of here. And we'll end up having to build this up. And that room is supposed to be jagged. I mean, it's not supposed to be square. So that's fine. And this will all be buried. Once you get this stuff going. So kind of like that. So that stuff will have to go up. This, can we get this in here? Watch. All right, so that'll be the walls through here. I mean, it'd be really nice if we could get these rocks to work all through here. But I don't think that's an option. I think we're going to make it an option. You know what? Why not? Why the hairy freaking hell not? It's not going to work in some of this. That we know. But we can build this up. So the inside of the cave looks actually cavernous, right? Kind of like that. And that. Trying to get it just right. Is that sitting on it? We're going to lose some of this overhang that we've created. All right. I think that's what we're going to do for our cavern walls as much as possible. We're going to see how much that we can accommodate that way. I mean, we could come in like this, right? Like that. Start here, because where we have those sandstone blocks laid down, that's supposed to be our outside wall limit there. So I think this will end up looking much better than if we lay walls down here. It's going to be the exact same end result, right? And then here, we can kind of create that there. And come on, turn the way I want you to. And then there. And this will end up being just a little bit wider. I mean, it's going to mess with the layout of the room just a little bit, but I don't really care. If it looks better, it looks better. So we need that 5-foot walk through there. Like that. Kind of like that. there. Is that going all the way down to the ground? Yeah, it is. We can go here. And here. Issue is going to be right there. So let me take a look. Do I have to have that little bump up there? I don't think I do. I think I just kind of left it there. So let's do this. There's that. And that. There you go. That gives them room to walk in. This is the little blind where those guys will be. And then we'll put some filler in so we don't have to put rocks all the way across. Because this will come down and be mountain all through here. So we could place filler all the way around, leaving like a 1 square width ledge to build up on. And then we just need to build up inside. We're just looking here to see what we need. We have our little walkway through here. We'll leave that like that. That gives them a walkway that way. That gives them that. We need this to be filled in here. So we need a little bit of walkway around there. Let's do it so kind of there. My stomach is pissed at me. She's like, why didn't you eat today? I was busy, that's why, damn it. Okay, so that comes around like that. Steps up there. I think I'm going to leave that alone. And we'll start coming up from here. Kind of like that. that. And we'll just have to keep bringing it up. And I'm thinking what we might end up doing on this outside zone is build it up so it goes up to our 20-foot level. So these walls, are they supposed to be 10 feet? I'm not sure what they're supposed to be, but I think we're going to do this. We're going to place some random wall over here, and we're going to use that as our height. There we go. God damn it. Oh, look at this dumb shit. There we go. We just had to pull that in to make it work. I want to put a mini down just to see what this really should be representing. So let's assume that these humans are what, 6 feet? Did we just crash? No, it didn't crash. All right, so we dropped him down. Let's go out of build mode. Let's look at relative to this miniature. Yeah, I think those are 10-foot walls. So if he's 6, that's about 2/3 of his height above. So those are 10-foot walls. So this is level with that floor. If we're trying to make it 20 to 30 feet up, that's going to be our dimension right there. Now we're going to need it to go above here. Let's do the same thing. We're going to embed that in this wall here. So 1. That's not going to work. Let's undo that. We're just going to put this here as a reference. Two. 3. So that would give us, it looks like, a 20-foot ceiling here. And that'd be more like 25 feet there. So this is going to be, I think this is going to be our roof. I think that's just what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and place that. I wonder what the underside of these cavern tiles look like. So I really do want to close this in. Let's set our build plane. All right. So that gets our outer layer cavern ceiling set. You know, except for like out to here. And then we'll need to build the mountainside up just above that level, and we can pop that out. Maybe. Awesome. So that takes care of that base part of it. So now we just need to figure out how we're going to work with the rest of this. So this will do the same thing, creating our walls across there. This will do our interior wall, get it started. We'll take it out to here for the mountainside. I feel like that is how we want to build these walls. Good deal. All right. So we're going to end up with a lot of assets in here to make this thing work. And that's fine. I think what we'll end up doing as well to close this thing in. Tell you what. Let's mess with that. Let's take the water down. I'm going to go underneath of it a second just to take a look. Should be fine. So let's close this thing in. Now, I kind of have an idea. I'm not sure it's going to be awesome, but let's see. I think I need to do this, and it'll make my life easier too. What's going on down there? It's like, where did that crap come from? So I think what we want to do is this. Build it so that it runs along the edge here. Right? And then we'll need to put like a sub platform down below it. So that's even with the ground there. This will just get our outline box done, and we're not going to actually close it in yet. So, oh my god, I think I saw the biggest pile of D&D stupidity I've ever seen. You know, excessive conspicuous consumption. How do I want to describe it? So it's like for $5,000 for 3 days, you can go to this overpriced fucking hotel and play D&D with Satine Phoenix and 2 other people. I mean, come on. That's just so absolutely fucking stupid. I can't even comprehend. All right, so we'll need to bring these walls up so they go past that ceiling, but let's finish our basic wall layout. So all along this top side of the river, that's just closed in. Now what we could do is this. This entire thing over here. so that takes care of that wall there where it's going to come out to. So there's our wall outlines there. We'll have to figure something out across here. See what we can do here. That will not look horrible, but will this wall is going to be a pain in the butthole. I'm thinking we might end up taking this edge out, like 2 more. And then we'll be able to so that'll be enough room there, so we'd be able to go, what, here? Put that there. And then it would be, what, 1, 2... There we go. So now we can take this, build out this wall. We can leave some of these little rocks in here. We'll end up using some of that stuff like that to fill in. We're not getting a lot done today. So a good bit of this has been, you know, let's see how we can make these walls look okay. I tell you what, I think we're going to save this kind of stuff for filler. We don't want that to actually be our walls. Let's see, now we have all that room on the outside there. So as long as we have a walkway through there, Pretty sure we need to wall this up as well. Hey, friendly, how's it going? Yep, I just decided, like, with this build, I don't really like the cavern walls, so we're going to build the walls out of the stone that we'll use to build up the outside mountain anyway. And make it a little more interesting. Yeah, the cavern walls are gross. And, you know, the little gaps and stuff that they leave, that's kind of stuff that just bothers me. And we decide we're going to close this in. We set this as like a roof, and we'll do something with that. But, you know, we're going to close in the cavern, build the mountain around the outside. I mean, we're going to have a shit ton of assets when we're done. I mean, we might as well be honest there. And we're going to wall this up and close that in too. So I'm not that worried about this being exposed, because nobody's going to see it. And we'll run this. This wall's supposed to kind of go all the way across here. But yeah, the cavern walls, I really hate the cavern floor too, because we're going to have to go in and break it up a little bit to make it not all look the same. Yeah, that'll work. This one's going to have to jut out a little bit. That'll be fine. Yeah, I'll end up doing that as well. I do that, and then, you know, I'll throw in like these things to break stuff up. But right now I'm just trying to get the base outline of the walls down before I build it all the way up. This right here, you know, it's supposed to have 20 to 30 foot high ceiling. I'm curious what the underside of this looks like. Of course it won't let me see it, that's fine. But you're supposed to have 20 to 30 foot high ceiling, which works all the way across there. So we're going to build up so the mountain goes just above that. And, you know, take it from there. I mean, it would be nice if the cavern walls actually worked well and didn't look like shit. And I really hate having, you know, all this stuff on top so it looks the same. So we're going to end up pulling out probably a bunch of these and turning them to make it work. But our main concern was making sure that when we flood the river and lake here, that all looked okay. We'll tear all this down and actually build what needs to be put there. Yeah, the cavern floor is pretty... I may end up doing something with that. I'm not sure. I mean, that just looks... bleh. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of ways to make the cavern floor look good. Oop. Oh, God. Yanking controllers down. Let's see. Too many controllers. I mean, I guess... yeah. Let's see, what do the castle ruins floors look like? This isn't really going to look like a cavern, though, if we put it in there. I just wish these weren't like that. I like this, the new marble palace. I thought about using the walls inside for the cavern, but it wouldn't really look like a cavern. So, but we're gonna have to do something with this cavern floor because it's just not good. Nature. So it'd be nice if like our nature stuff, there were a few other options that would work inside here. Let's see, sewers. That's, you know what? What about... I think I'd almost rather have the cobblestone down like that for this, for the cavern. Well, I could, but you know, we kind of use this for the bottom of the river. You know, this stuff. And I really don't want to use the same thing for the cavern floor. I'm just trying to think what would make it look interesting and not bad. You know what I mean? Yeah, I think that's what I used. Were the swamp tiles. Well, I guess I could use this, right? And then put the other down as dirt. That's an idea. So we have what, 2x2s like that? Is that a 2x2? It is. So we'd be replacing those 2x2s with this. That might work, and then use this for the rest of the floor. Well, I mean, for the swamp tiles, there's this, and then there's what? This jungle. So there are what? Two that kind of look like, I don't know what that's supposed to be. I think we'd use the 2x2s, and then you have these as the other swamp tiles. So what, we have 4 swamp tiles? But I think that's what we're going to end up doing. That's a good idea. Now the issue is going to be it's a pain in the ass to select these out. No, I don't want to risk pulling something out that I don't want going. You know what I mean? Let's go ahead and get rid of this bridge. Come on, bridge, go away. Oh, that's the build. Dumbass. There we go. And then I'm going to place them individually. So we have so much stuff placed here. I'm afraid we'll screw something up horribly. There we go. So we can go there. So, Friendly, have you run or played any games using this? So I think what we're going to do, some Starfinder on this. How did that go? Especially considering, Really not a lot of Starfinder friendly assets, are there? I think what we're going to do is kind of like this. And we'll fill the rest in with the basic swamp tiles. I think the one thing I would wish for as a DM to be able to run on this is to, because I run on a Foundry for my D&D 5e sessions, and I've got a lot of wandering players, let's put it that way. And I think I would kind of like to be able to lock down the board without having to go into the combat mode. You know, so it would allow me to talk and keep them from wandering, like, you know, bad kids. Well, I thought you had to go into the turn mode to lock it down. Toggle cinematic mode. So I go into what, cutscene mode? And then they can't do anything? There we go. Dog pill. Means I have to get off in a couple of moments to take care of one of the pups. Give her her pill. I do like sometimes with the effect you get if you layer some of the same things on top of each other, it'll break it up a little bit. Then we can get rid of all these and go room by room and start filling in with just dirt, like the swamp. I wonder what it does if we just put that on top of there. Probably nothing, right? What does it make it look like? I mean, we could do that. I'm curious. No, then it just looks like repetitive spots on the floor. So yeah, we're going to get rid of these floor tiles. Replace all those with the swamp, just to make it look like a dirt floor. And then we'll finish building up the walls. Yeah, I'll have to mess with the cutscene mode too. Right now we're just still experimenting with building these maps out. Try to make them look nice so they don't look heinous. And these will be going away. A lot of work left to do on this. A lot. I want to make sure we have ample room to walk. So yeah, they'll be able to make their way through there, go across. We have full squares at the bottom. Be able to walk across there. This one's questionable, so let's tell you what, let's do this. And then this will work as long as we just place tiles there that we want to see. Let's see. room to walk there. It's only supposed to be a 5-foot wide corridor. The steps will work fine. That's fine. Plenty of room there. All right. So it looks like all of the areas we need to be able to walk in are good. In fact, these ceilings are so high closing this in shouldn't be an issue either. And we'll leave our voids here. That's not going to matter. So yeah, that's the only thing we're really worried about is whether or not, they're going to be able to make it up the steps. Little gap's going to bother me, but I think when we put the floor in, we'll put the floor tiles all the way up to that. Tell you what. That works right there. That gives us our space to walk down. Drop a chicken. Lone Wolf. It'll be end of the month. So first of October will be fully on YouTube. So I've got to get off, take my daughter to school. Since you asked. Oh my God, I can't type. So make sure you go over there and follow if you haven't done so already. We do have our memberships and stuff set up because that is our partnered YouTube channel. So we will have our emojis and stuff if you're into that, but all of that will be available over there. The only thing we won't have is channel points, and I'll probably just run the puppy cam all the time once we're over there. But that's going to be it for right now. I've got to run her to class and eat some lunch. So we'll see everybody tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll be back playing some Assassin's Creed. And I might do some of the work on this cleaning up offline. So everybody have a great day. If you haven't done so already, follow our YouTube channel, and we'll catch you guys next time.